This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, students. Yesterday, I completed this stability analysis of the infinite cohesive soil slope. So, in this stability analysis of infinite cohesive soil slope, we discussed dry condition, submerged condition, and also seepage flow condition. So, in this infinite cohesive soil slope, the shear strength of soil is calculated by using the Terzaghi equation. Shear strength S is equal to C dash plus sigma dash into tan phi dash. In that equation, on the right hand side, C indicates the cohesion between soil particles, especially in clayey soils, cohesive soils. Between the soil particles, there is a attraction. That attraction between the soil particles is called cohesion. Whereas in cohesionless soils, there is no attraction between the soil particles. So in cohesionless soils, there is no cohesion. The cohesion C in sandy soils is 0. Whereas in clayey soils, we have this property of cohesion. So this cohesion is the property of only clayey soils, that is cohesive soils. And in the last class, I explained this infinite cohesive soil slope stability analysis first in dry condition. So in this dry condition, we consider the soil prism between the soil slope AB and the failure surface CD, and by considering the forces acting on the soil prism, we calculated the factor of safety of this infinite cohesive soil slope in the dry condition. So last class I explained the factor of safety of the infinite cohesive soil slope. So please check that equation 4 on the screen. That equation 4 is the factor of safety of shear strength Fs is equal to C dash, that is cohesion, plus gamma h cos square I into tan phi dash divided by gamma h cos I into sin I. This is the equation of factor of safety of the infinite cohesive soil slope in dry condition. If the factor of safety Fs greater than 1, soil slope is stable. If the factor of safety equal to 1, soil slope is about to failure. And the factor of safety less than 1, soil slope is not stable. That is the condition of this Fs, factor of safety. Now, in that equation 4, if I take this factor of safety Fs is equal to 1, by taking this factor of safety Fs is equal to 1, I can calculate the height h of the soil slope. What is this height h of the soil slope? So that the factor of safety of soil slope is 1, that is called a critical condition. If this factor of safety of shear strength Fs is equal to 1, the soil slope is said to be in critical condition, about to failure. At that critical condition, what should be this height of the soil slope? So in this equation 4, by taking this Fs equal to 1, we can calculate this height h of the soil slope when the soil slope is in critical condition. Now check that calculation carefully. By taking this factor of safety is equal to 1, and by bringing this denominator, right hand side denominator, to this left hand side, this equation 4 becomes as, the equation 4 becomes as gamma h cos I into sin I is equal to C dash plus gamma h cos square I into tan phi dash. From equation 4, by taking that factor of safety of shear strength Fs is equal to 1, we got this equation. Now in this equation, keep these gamma h terms in one side, C dash term on the other side. This equation becomes as C dash is equal to, the quotient C dash is equal to gamma h cos I into sin I minus gamma h cos square I into tan phi dash. So just to modify this equation so that all these gamma h terms are in one side. So from this equation on this right hand side, take this gamma h cos square I as common. Gamma h cos square I. whereas in the first term we have only cos I. But take this gamma h cos square I as common, so this equation becomes as c dash is equal to gamma h cos square I into, in this first term we have only cos I, whereas the common taking is cos square I, so this first term becomes as sin I by cos I, minus in the second term tan phi dash. So take this gamma h cos square I on the right side common, so this right side becomes as c dash is equal to gamma h cos square I into sin I by cos I minus tan phi. Sin I by cos I is tan I. So this c dash is equal to gamma h cos square I into tan I minus sin tan phi dash. Now from this equation, find out this height h. This is the height h of the soil slope at which the factor of safety is 1, that is critical condition. So from this equation, the height h of the soil slope, infinite Kosu soil slope, is equal to c dash divided by gamma cos square I into tan I minus tan phi dash. We got this equation for height h by taking the factor of safety of shear strength as 1. So we call this height h as the critical height of the infinite Kosu soil slope. So in the infinite Kosu soil slope, in the dry condition, the critical height of the soil slope about to failure is equal to hc. That is the critical height condition. hc is equal to c dash divided by gamma cos square I into tan I minus tan phi. In this unit 2, we have some numerical problems. While solving those numerical problems, we apply these equations. So please note down this equation so that you can easily solve the numerical problem. So this is the critical height of the soil slope. At factor of safety equal to 1 in the dry condition, the height of the soil slope about subjected to failure is hc, that is equal to c dash by gamma cos square I into tan I minus tan phi dash. Then in the last class I explained this submerged condition also. We calculate the factor of safety in the submerged condition. Even in this submerged condition also, by taking this factor of safety fs is equal to 1, from this equation 3 we can calculate the critical height hc. So as usual in the previous discussion, by taking this factor of safety equal to 1 in the submerged condition also, we can calculate this critical height hc of the soil slope in the submerged condition. Then last class I also explained this seepage flow condition in the infinite Kosu soil. That is very important, seepage flow condition. In that seepage flow condition, we consider the pore water pressure acting on the soil. By using that pore water pressure in this seepage flow condition, we calculate the factor of safety in the seepage flow condition. Last class I explained that derivation of factor of safety in the seepage flow condition. We know that in the seepage flow condition, the factor of safety of shear strength fs is equal to c dash. Check that equation 4. C dash plus gamma dash, that is the submerged unit weight, gamma dash h cos square I tan phi dash divided by gamma saturation into h into cos I into sin I. This is the equation of factor of safety in the seepage flow condition. Now from this equation 4, by taking this factor of safety equal to 1, we can find out the critical height h of the infinite Kosu soil slope in the seepage flow condition. So what is the height of the soil slope in the seepage flow condition in that critical situation? At critical condition, fs is equal to 1. So check this equation 4 to find out this critical height hc or h in the seepage flow condition. So take this factor of safety fs is equal to 1. Bring this denominator to the left side. This equation 4 becomes as gamma saturation into h into cos I into sin I is equal to c dash plus gamma dash h into cos square into tan phi dash. So check this equation 4 carefully. We consider in that equation 4 the factor of safety Fs is equal to 1. Bring the denominator in equation 4 to the left side. That equation 4 becomes as gamma saturation Hc cos I into sin I is equal to C dash plus gamma dash H cos square I into tan phi dash. We know that in factor of safety Fs is equal to 1. The height is called critical height Hc. So in the equation 4, substitute the height h as hc, and that equation 4 becomes as c dash plus gamma dash hc cos square I into tan phi dash is equal to gamma saturation hc cos I into sin I. Bring this hc term to the left side, right side. Take cos square I as common. Then this equation becomes as c dash is equal to hc cos square I, that is this value, hc cos square I into gamma saturation tan I minus gamma dash tan phi dash. And from this, the critical height hc in the steady seepage flow condition, hc is equal to c dash divided by cos square I into gamma saturation tan I minus gamma dash tan phi dash. This is the critical height hc equation in the steady seepage flow condition in infinite cohesive soil slopes. So with this, the stability analysis of infinite soil slopes is completed. So in this infinite soil slopes, we discuss the cohesionless infinite soil slope stability analysis, and also we discuss the infinite cohesive soil slope stability analysis. So both cohesionless soil and cohesive soil we consider in this infinite soil slope stability analysis. Now we are going to discuss the next soil slope stability, that is the finite soil slope stability. We know that we have two types of soil slopes. One is infinite soil slope, next one is finite soil slope. Finite soil slope means the soil slopes of embankments, soil slopes of canals, soil slopes of earth dams. Those are called the finite soil slopes. Now we are going to discuss how to analyze the stability of the finite soil slopes. Please remember, already I explained the failures of soil slopes. Different types of failures: rotational failure, translational failure, combined failure, wedge failure, and miscellaneous failure. So like that we discuss different types of failures of finite the soil slopes. You know that rotational failure happened in finite soil slopes. The failure surface is a curved failure surface, and in the rotational failure it happens in finite soil slopes. Translational failure happens in infinite soil slopes. Combined failure, combination of rotational failure and translational failure. Then the wedge failure. The wedge failure happened in finite soil slope. In the translational failure, the failure plane, the failure surface is a plane surface. In the wedge failure also, the failure surface is a plane surface. Whereas in the rotational failure, the failure surface is a curved surface. So we are going to discuss the stability analysis of the finite soil slopes. In that, first I am going to discuss with you how to analyze the stability of finite soil slope if that finite soil slope subjected to wedge failure. So sometimes the finite soil slope subjected to wedge failure. In that wedge failure, how to analyze the stability of finite soil slope. So please coming to the stability analysis of finite soil slope. So check this PPT on the cell phone screens. We are going to start the stability of finite soil slope. So that is the stability analysis of finite soil slope. We know that this finite soil slope subjected to rotational failure and also wedge failure. In the rotational failure, the failure surface is a curved surface. If the soil slope is of homogeneous soil, rotational failure, the curved surface is circle. And if the soil is non-homogeneous, it is not circle. Then the other type of failure, the next type of failure in the finite soil slope is wedge failure. So in this stability analysis of finite soil slope, first we consider this finite soil slope subjected to wedge failure. In that wedge failure, how to analyze the stability of the finite soil slope. So please everyone understand, up to this class we studied the stability analysis of infinite soil slope, portionless soil slope and also cohesive soil slope. But now we are going to discuss the stability analysis of finite soil slope, the soil slopes of earth dams, soil slopes of embankments, soil slopes of canals, all comes under this finite soil slope. So if and all the finite soil slope subjected to wedge failure, how to study the stability of that particular finite soil slope. That is the concept we are going to discuss in this wedge failure stability analysis of finite soil slope. Now check this diagram. Please check this diagram. In this diagram, we have this finite soil slope AB. So everyone, please check this diagram. Here, this AB is the finite soil slope. This is the soil slope of an embankment. It is also the soil slope of canal. This AB, it may be the soil slope of canal. It may be the soil slope of an earth dam. So in the diagram, we have this finite soil slope AB with horizontal. Let this soil slope making the angle I. I is the angle made by the finite soil slope AB with horizontal. We are assuming, let this finite soil slope AB subjected to wedge failure along this surface AD. This is the failure surface AD. In the wedge failure, the failure surface is a plane surface. Plane means straight line. In the 2D, plane means straight line. If it is a rotational failure, then this failure surface is a curved surface. There is a curve here. But in this discussion, we assume this soil slope AB, finite soil slope AB, subjected to wedge failure. So in that wedge failure, the failure surface, that is AD, is a straight line. It is a plane failure surface. About this failure surface AD, this finite soil slope subjected to failure. So this entire portion of soil, this entire portion, that is A, B, D, this entire portion of soil is separated from this remaining portion and it is moving downwards from the structure. That is called the wedge failure of the finite soil slope AB. So if this finite soil slope AB subjected to failure along this failure surface AD, plane surface AD, we call this failure as the wedge failure. This portion of soil ABD is called wedge. We call this portion of soil ABD as the wedge. This entire portion of soil is separated from the remaining portion of the structure during the failure. It is moving downwards away from the structure. We call this failure as wedge failure of this finite soil slope AB. We are going to discuss how to study the stability of this finite soil slope AB when this finite soil slope AB is subjected to wedge failure. So please check this diagram carefully. We consider the finite soil slope AB. It may be the slope of embankment, canal or earth dam. That finite soil slope is making the angle I with horizontal. Let that finite soil slope AB here is subjected to wedge failure along the plane failure surface AD. About the surface AD, we assume this finite side slope subjected to wedge failure. This AD is called the wedge failure surface. We call this AD. In the wedge failure, the failure surface is plane, so this AD is a straight line. Let this failure surface AD with horizontal, making the angle phi. Because in wedge failure, the failure surface is not parallel to side slope. So check these two lines AB and AD. These two are not parallel to each other. So we assume this wedge AD is making the angle phi with the horizontal. During this wedge failure, this portion of soil ABD, subjected to failure, it is separated from the remaining portion. It is moving downwards away from the remaining portion of the structure. We call that as wedge failure. W indicates the weight of this soil in the wedge ABD. Always the weight acting vertically downwards. So we call this W as the weight of this soil mass ABD, soil portion ABD. We are going to find out first this weight W. By taking the unit weight of the soil as gamma, we are going to find out this weight W. So everyone check this diagram before going to discuss the calculation of this weight W. So here we have the finite side slope AB making the angle I with horizontal. This finite side slope subjected to failure, wedge failure along the wedge failure surface AD making the angle phi with horizontal. First, we are going to find out what is the equation for this weight W of this soil wedge ABD. This portion ABD is called soil wedge. What is the equation for this weight W? We know that weight is equal to unit weight gamma into volume of this soil wedge ABD. That is the equation for this weight W. The weight W is equal to unit weight gamma into volume of this soil wedge ABD. Volume of this soil wedge ABD is equal to volume is equal to area into thickness. So first find out what is the area of this triangle ABD. First to find out the area of this triangle ABD. Then by taking unit length in the particular direction, you will take the unit length in the particular direction, then you can calculate the volume. Volume of this soil wedge is equal to area of the soil wedge ABD into the unit length. So here to find out this weight W, we must know this area of the triangle ABD. So go to that calculation of the weight W of the soil wedge ABD. So check this discussion carefully. Here I is the angle made by the finite side slope AB with horizontal. So with respect to horizontal, the side slope AB making the angle I. Alpha is the angle made by the surface AD with horizontal. AD is the wedge surface, failure surface with horizontal. W is the weight of the soil wedge. W indicates the weight of this soil wedge ABD per unit thickness. So here W is this weight of the soil wedge ABD per unit thickness or unit length. So first find out this weight W of the soil wedge. So check this equation carefully. The weight of the soil wedge ABD, weight is always equal to unit weight gamma into volume. So in this discussion, the weight of the soil wedge ABD is equal to unit weight gamma. Take this weight, unit weight of this soil as gamma. Take the unit weight of this soil as gamma. Then this weight of the soil wedge ABD W is equal to unit weight gamma into volume of this soil wedge ABD. Volume is equal to area into unit thickness. So find out first the area of this triangle ABD in this discussion. So here the weight of the soil wedge W is equal to unit weight of the soil, bulk unit weight of the soil, gamma into volume of the soil wedge AB. Now take that weight as W. I will tell you later how to calculate this weight W. I will tell you later. So that weight W is equal to unit weight gamma into the volume of the soil wedge ABD. Now on the surface AD, check this. On the surface AD, we can resolve. So please check this diagram. On the surface AD, the weight W is resolved into two components. This weight W is resolved into two components. One is normal component N perpendicular to surface AD. Next one is tangential component T parallel to surface AD. So this weight W of the soil wedge resolved into two components. On the failure surface AD, it is resolved into two components, normal component N, normal component N, parallel component T. N is called normal component of weight W. T is called tangential component of weight W. Check this angle. The weight W acting vertically downwards. This is the horizontal line. This horizontal line, this inclined surface with horizontal making the angle alpha. So here this is horizontal, this is vertical. Between the horizontal and vertical angle is 90. So one angle is alpha, other angle is 90. So this third angle 90 minus alpha. So here this angle is 90 minus alpha. So resolve this weight W into two components, normal component and tangential component. Normal, the tangential component is equal to W cos 90 minus alpha. The tangential component T is equal to W cos 90 minus alpha, that is equal to W sin alpha, this T. And this N is equal to W sin 90 minus alpha, that is equal to W cos alpha. So like that, on the surface CD, on the surface AD, on the surface AD, resolve this weight W into two components, normal component N, W cos alpha, tangential component T, W sin alpha. So we resolve that weight W into two components. On the failure surface AD, normal component N is equal to W cos alpha, tangential component T is equal to W sin alpha. Check the normal tangential component. The tangential component T is acting in the downward direction. This tangential component is parallel to failure surface AD. So it is taken as the shear force. This shear force produces the shear stress in the soil. That shear stress is acting in the downward direction. Since that shear stress is acting in downward direction, that shear stress will causes the downward movement of this entire soil in this finite soil slope. So because of this tangential component T, tangential component T is parallel to failure surface AD. So it is called the shear force. This shear force T produces the shear stress in the soil. That shear stress is acting in downward direction. Because of the shear stress in the downward direction, this entire soil in the finite soil slope is moving in downward direction. So the failure of this soil slope is because of this tangential component T. So due to this tangential component T, the entire soil here is under failure situation. So the tangential component T is causing the wedge failure of the soil slope. Because the T is acting in downward direction, it causes the wedge failure of the finite soil slope in this discussion. Now that wedge failure, the wedge failure is prevented by the shear strength of the soil. We know that in soils we have the property of shear strength. The shear strength is the resisting force. That resisting force is preventing the failure of the soil slope. So check this diagram. So here this soil is having this property of shear strength. That shear strength in the soil is acting in upward direction, and it is preventing, this shear strength is preventing this failure of the soil wedge. The soil wedge is subjected to failure because of this tangential component T. Due to this tangential component T, this soil wedge is moving in downward direction. So this tangential component T causing the failure. That failure is prevented by the shear strength S of the soil. It is the property of soil. We know that to calculate the shear strength S, we can use the Coulomb equation or the Terzaghi equation. So in this wedge failure, I use this Coulomb equation to calculate the shear strength of the soil. S is equal to C plus normal force N into tan phi. So we are going to calculate the resisting shear force to prevent the failure of the soil slope, finite soil slope, by using the Coulomb equation. S is equal to C plus N tan phi. N is the normal component of weight W, that is equal to W cos alpha. So the shear strength S preventing the failure of the soil slope is equal to C cohesion of soil plus N into tan phi. Normally, the finite soil slopes are constructed with cohesive soils. It is not possible to construct the finite soil slope with cohesive soils. With cohesionless soils. Cohesionless soils means sandy soils. By using the sandy soils, we cannot construct the finite soil slopes. The soil slope of embankments, rivers, and earth dams, we cannot construct those soil slopes by using cohesionless soils. We construct those finite soil slopes by using only cohesive soils. So in that finite soil slopes, the shear strength S is equal to C plus N or normal stress. That is also can be used. You can use either the normal stress or normal force while calculating the shear strength S. So that shear strength S is equal to C plus N into tan phi. It is also equal to C plus sigma into tan phi. If sigma is used, that is normal stress, S is called the shear strength stress. If we use N, that is normal force N, S is called the shear strength force. That is only the difference. So in the Terzaghi or Coulomb equation, you can calculate shear strength by using two equations. S is equal to C plus sigma tan phi. That sigma is the normal stress. In that equation, S is called the shear strength stress. Otherwise, you can also calculate the shear strength by using normal force S, normal force N. So S is equal to C plus N into tan phi. N is normal force. In that case, we call this S as the shear strength force. If I use sigma, S is called shear strength stress. If I use N, S is called shear strength force. So in this equation, the shear strength force is equal to the cohesive force C plus N, normal force into tan phi. But normal force here is W cos alpha. So the shear strength force S is equal to C plus W cos alpha into tan phi. So here this C is called the cohesion force, total cohesion force. We call C as the total cohesion force of the soil. We have in soils the another cohesion indicated as small c. This is capital C, total cohesive force in soil. We have the another cohesion in soil indicated as small c. Small c is called the cohesion force per unit length of soil. This small c is called the cohesive force per unit length of soil. On the surface AD, failure surface AD, if the length of the failure surface AD is L, take L is the length of the failure surface AD in the finite soil slope, then this total cohesive force capital C is equal to unit cohesive force small c into the length of failure surface AD. That is the relationship. So in this discussion, the total cohesive force C is equal to the cohesive force per unit length into the length of the failure surface AD CL. So this shear strength force S is equal to, in terms of this cohesion force per unit length, the shear strength force S is equal to CL plus W cos alpha into tan phi. Now we know the shear force causing the failure is tangential component T. The shear force resisting the failure is the shear strength S. Then by using this shear strength S resisting the failure, the shear force, the tangential component T causing the failure, we can calculate the factor of safety in this finite soil slope stability analysis in wedge failure. Fs is equal to factor of safety of shear strength in wedge failure. Fs is equal to the shear strength force resisting the failure, that is S, divided by the tangential component T causing the failure. S by T is the factor of safety of shear strength in this finite soil slope stability analysis. This shear strength force S is equal to CL plus W cos alpha tan phi divided by this tangential component T is equal to W sin alpha. This is the equation to calculate the factor of safety in this wedge failure stability analysis of the finite soil slope. So please check this concept once again. We started the stability analysis of the finite soil slope. Already we completed the stability analysis of infinite soil slopes for both cohesive soil and as well as cohesionless soil. Next we are going to start this stability analysis of finite soil slope. The finite soil slopes are subjected to two types of failures. One is rotational failure, next one is wedge failure. So first we consider that wedge failure of the finite soil slope. And when the finite soil slope subjected to wedge failure, what is the equation of factor of safety of that finite soil slope? So in this class, I explained the determination of factor of safety of the finite soil slope if and all that finite soil slope subjected to wedge failure. So in this discussion, first we consider the finite soil slope AB of the structure. AB is the finite soil slope. It may be the soil slope of embankment, soil slope of canal, or soil slope of earth dam. Observe that finite soil slope AB with horizontal, it is making the angle I. We assume this finite soil slope AB subjected to wedge failure along the plane failure surface AD. In the diagram, the line AD indicates the wedge failure surface, the plane wedge failure surface. In the wedge failure, the failure surface and the soil slope are not parallel to each other. So in this wedge failure, we assume the failure surface AD making the angle alpha with horizontal. When the soil slope AB subjected to wedge failure, the soil portion ABD is called soil wedge. The soil wedge ABD is separated from the remaining structure. It is moving downwards, causing the failure of soil slope AB. So in the wedge failure, this entire soil wedge ABD is subjected to failure, entire soil mass. We are going to discuss what is the factor of safety equation of this finite soil slope AB. If this finite soil slope AB is subjected to wedge failure along the surface AD, failure surface AD. First, take this weight of the soil wedge ABD as W. It is acting vertically downwards. It is acting vertically downwards. Dear students, we prepare this entire diagram in the office on a graph sheet. So please listen everyone. Please listen everyone. Whenever we are analyzing the stability of this finite soil slope AB, first we prepare this finite soil slope according to certain scale on the graph sheet in the office. before going to construct this soil slope AB, before going to construct this soil slope AB, we have the drawings. We have the drawing of the embankments, drawing of the canals, drawings of the earth dams. By using those drawings, prepare this soil slope, prepare this embankment on the graph sheet. So first prepare this graph sheet embankment. Prepare this embankment on the graph sheet. So this is the soil slope on the graph sheet. Take in that graph sheet some failure surface AD. In that graph sheet, take this failure surface AD. It is our assumption. Take this failure surface AD with an angle alpha. This entire process is done on the graph sheet. So on the graph sheet, we prepare this drawing of the embankment or earth dam first, including the soil slope AB with angle I. In that graph sheet, we take this failure surface AD, making the angle alpha. Already from the field, we know this unit weight of the soil. From the field, that is subsoil investigation, we know how much is the unit weight of soil used in this embankment construction. Then from the graph sheet, calculate the area of this wedge portion ABD. Since this diagram is on the graph sheet, from that graph sheet, find out the area of this soil wedge ABD. Multiply that area with unit thickness. Multiply this area of ABD with unit thickness, you will get the volume of this soil wedge ABD. Since from the field, we know the unit weight of this soil and also the volume of this soil wedge, calculate the weight of this soil wedge first. The weight acting in vertically downward direction. So in the graph sheet, prepare this weight W, draw this weight W acting vertically downwards. Resolve this weight into two components, normal component N, tangential component T. Normal component N, W cos alpha, tangential component T, W sin alpha. Since we know this value of W, please follow this carefully. This is entirely done on the graph sheet. On that graph sheet, find out the area of this soil wedge ABD. Multiply that area with unit thickness, you will get the volume. Multiply that volume with unit weight of soil, you will get the weight. Resolve that weight into two components, normal component N, tangential component T. Normal component N is equal to W cos alpha, tangential component T is equal to W sin alpha. Tangential component T causing the failure. So this is the shear force causing the failure. That failure is resisted by the shear strength S. Find out this shear strength S by using the Coulomb equation by considering this normal component force. In terms of this normal component force, S is equal to C plus N into tan phi. That is the Coulomb equation to find out this shear strength force S. The shear strength force S resisting the failure. And I also included the cohesion per unit length. That is the property of soil. Cohesion per unit length small c. Capital C is equal to small c into the length of this failure surface AD. From the graph sheet, measure this length of the failure surface AD, and from the field, we know the cohesion per unit length. By conducting the bone penetration test or some other field test, we can know that cohesion per unit length. Measure this length AD on the graph sheet. So calculate capital C. Capital C is equal to small c into length of this failure surface AD plus S is equal to C plus N. N is W cos alpha. So you know this value of N into tan phi. From the field, we can find out that angle phi. So check this calculation carefully. This entire process is done on the graph sheet in the office. So this is the equation of factor of safety in the wedge failure. Fs is equal to C unit cohesion. You know this unit cohesion from the subsoil exploration. By conducting the cone penetration test, you can find out this C. L is the length of the failure surface AD, that is on the graph sheet. W, already we calculated. W is known. Alpha is known from the graph sheet. W cos alpha into tan phi. Phi is the angle of internal friction. We can find out this phi from the standard penetration test divided by W sin alpha. So from that graph sheet, you know each and every value on the equation 4. Calculate the factor of safety Fs. Repeat this process by taking the another failure surface AD. This is the process for one failure surface AD. Find out the factor of safety for that failure surface AD. Take the another failure surface on the graph sheet. Some other failure surface. Repeat the same process. Take the some other failure surface on the graph sheet. Find out the area of the soil wedge. Calculate the weight of that soil wedge. Resolve that weight into two components. Find out the length of the failure surface. Calculate the shear strength S. Find out the factor of safety for the another failure surface. Then take the other failure surface, third failure surface. Repeat the same process, find out the factor of safety. So like that in the office on the graph sheet, by taking different failure surfaces, find out the factor of safety for each failure surface. Now the failure surface which gives the minimum factor of safety is called the critical failure surface for this finite soil slope AB. So the failure surface, we are repeating this process on the graph sheet by taking different failure surfaces. The failure surface which gives the least factor of safety is the critical failure surface for this finite soil slope. So like that, we analyze the stability of this finite soil slope on the graph sheet by assuming the wedge failure of this finite soil slope. This is the wedge failure of the finite soil slopes. If anyone is having doubts, please ask me. So in this wedge failure, if any one of you is having doubts, please discuss with me. Dear students, if anybody is having doubts about this wedge failure stability analysis of finite soil slopes, please ask me. Any doubts, students? Do you have any doubts regarding this stability analysis of finite soil slopes in wedge failure? Is my voice audible to you? Is my voice audible to you? Please give me the response. Is my voice audible to you? Any one of you give me the response. Is my voice audible to you?
Audible, sir.
Any doubts? Roll number 121. Any doubts about this finite side slope stability analysis in wedge failure?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So this entire process, please understand, this entire stability process of the finite side slope is done by the civil engineer in the office on a graph sheet. First he prepare that embankment plan or the earth dam plan or the canal plan according to convenient scale on the graph sheet. So first the civil engineer must prepare that plan of the embankment or the canal or the earth dam on a graph sheet, large graph sheet. If that plan is on the graph sheet, in that graph sheet plan, we have the soil slope AB. In that plan, the soil slope AB before the construction. This entire process is done before construction. So, in the graph sheet, we have that soil slope AB. AB is the finite soil slope. Let that finite soil slope is making the angle I with the horizontal. Then, in the graph sheet, we assume one failure, wedge failure plane AD. That is our assumption. We assume on the graph sheet, since we have that plan, on the graph sheet, we assume the wedge failure plane AD, one imaginary line AD. Let that AD making the angle alpha with horizontal. From the graph sheet, we can measure that angle alpha. Since the entire plan and also the failure surface AD is on the graph sheet, measure the area of triangle ABD from the graph sheet. So from that graph sheet, we can measure the area of the triangle ABD. Because this entire process is on the graph sheet, from that graph sheet, we can measure the area of triangle. So this is very, very important. Please follow this procedure carefully. Always the civil engineer, he will analyze the stability of finite side slopes before construction in the office by using the graph sheets. Even tomorrow, you can also check that stability analysis of the side slopes on the graph sheet. Nowadays, AutoCAD is also applied in that stability analysis. But in the olden days, whenever the stability of finite side slopes is to be checked, first we prepare the plan of the earth dam, embankment, canal on the graph sheet. Then we consider one imaginary wedge failure plane AD in the graph sheet. Then we calculate the area of the triangle ABD. Triangle area half into base into height. So here on the graph sheet, I can find out the height of this triangle. This is the height of the triangle. This is the base of the triangle. So I can calculate the area of this triangle ABD. Then take the unit thickness, that is 1 unit thickness. Then the volume of this soil, volume of the soil ABD is equal to area into thickness. I know where from I am collecting this soil. I know that borrow area. By conducting the field experiments, I know the unit weight of the soil in the borrow area. Gamma is known. So by conducting the field experiments in that borrow area, we can find out the core cutter method or the sand replacement method. We can measure the unit weight of that soil used in this construction. You know the volume from the graph sheet. You know that bulk unit weight gamma. Find out that volume, find out the weight of that soil ABD in the graph sheet. Find out the weight of the soil ABD W. W is equal to gamma into volume of this ABD portion. Both are known. Volume is known, gamma is known. So we know this value of W. Now resolve this W into two components. normal component n, W cos alpha, tangential component T, W sin alpha. From the graph sheet, you know this angle alpha, you know this weight W. So you know the value of n, W cos alpha, you know the value of T, W sin alpha. This T is the shear force causing the failure. So you know this shear force causing the failure in the graph sheet. Now calculate this shear force resisting the failure. Yes, the shear force resisting the failure, capital S. S is equal to C, total cohesion, plus N, normal force into tan phi. C is called total cohesion of soil. First, you must calculate the total cohesion. That total cohesion, capital C, is equal to the cohesion per unit length, small c, into the length of this failure plane, AD, in the graph sheet. By conducting the field test, like cone penetration test, like field vein shear test, we can find out that cohesion per unit length of the soil in the borrow area. That value can be determined by conducting the field test in the borrow area, cohesion per unit length, small c. By knowing that small c and the length of surface AD in the graph sheet, you can calculate capital C, total cohesion. Capital C is equal to small c into length L, that is the length of the failure surface AD. Then the shear strength force S is equal to C plus N, that is the normal force. Already you know this normal force N, into tan phi. Phi is the angle of internal friction, that is also determined in the borrow area by conducting the standard penetration test, SPT. So by conducting the standard penetration test, you can find out the shear strength, the angle of shearing resistance phi of the soil. So in the determination of this shear strength force S, S is equal to C, the cohesion, that is calculated, plus N, normal force, that is known, into tan phi. So you know this magnitude of shear strength force S. So for this particular failure surface AD on the graph sheet, we know this force T, the shear force causing the failure. We know this force S, shear force resisting the failure. Find out the factor of safety of shear strength S, Fs. Fs is equal to S divided by T. S is known, T is known. Find out the factor of safety. Then on the graph sheet, take the another failure surface. This is the first failure surface AD. Take the another failure surface as your convenient. Take the another failure surface AE. Repeat the same process. Repeat the same process. Determine the area of the soil wedge. Find out the volume of the soil wedge. Calculate the weight of the soil wedge. Find out the force N, force T. Find out the shear strength S. Calculate the factor of safety for the another failure surface. And take one more failure surface. Repeat the same process. Find out the factor of safety. So like that, on the graph sheet, we consider different failure surfaces. The plan is same. The plan remains same. No change in the plan. Only we consider the different failure surfaces in that graph sheet. For every failure surface, we calculate the factor of safety. Then only one failure surface gives the least factor of safety. Among those number of failure surfaces, one failure surface in the graph sheet gives the least factor of safety, that is considered as more critical failure surface. If and all in future, this soil slope AB subjected to failure. The soil slope AB, if and all in future, due to gravity force, due to earthquake force, due to other forces, if this AB after construction, if AB is subjected to failure, the slope AB subjected to failure about that most critical failure surface find out from the graph sheet before the construction. So like that we can study the stability of this finite side slopes in the wedge failure by taking the help of graphs. So this is the procedure to study the stability analysis of the finite side slopes in the wedge failure. 107. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Otherwise, if anybody is having doubts, because this procedure is entirely new to you, the graph sheet, the preparation of a plan on the graph sheet, taking the failure surface on the graph sheet, and calculation of weight W, the forces N and T, the force S, and finding the factor of safety. This entire process is done for the finite side slope on the graph sheet. Most of the finite side slope stability analysis is done on the graph sheet. So if anybody is having doubt regarding this finite side slope stability analysis, please ask me. Any doubts, students? Any doubts? Please ask me. Or at least give me the response. If you don't have doubts, at least give me the response. If you have doubts, please ask me.